I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Those Voidwoken make short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems someone, something, wanted me alive. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it ashore. These bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. drowned and eaten by a void woken. I wonder in which order.
Look here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with... What's that? Yes, I did see how it made short work of the great acorn servants. Quite right, very impressive. But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the great acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, I see. You cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it defeated the great acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe. Egads! It speaks our tongue, Quercus! Hush before... What do you mean, a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Solora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant! I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed. No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The great acorn waits for no one.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, 2 smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that... You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than...
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my standing here contemplating the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever foibles you seek to fix? On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. One of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. Oh my word, how you do astound me. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty prejudices of common folks. In fact, I prefer the exceptional in all things. Your secret is safe with me. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Do not take my elegance as a mask for frailty. My blows shatter shields, and my thrusts pierce armor. If a warrior you need, the warrior you'll have. Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, My Lord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
A black cat? Some would see this as an omen.
It seems we're not the only ones taking on stray. Don't be too jealous of us. Fur maketh not the cat.
I found something.
where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh.
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an Eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill, but I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in... Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? Much magic? I was controlling the powers of the universe while your people were still... doing whatever it is you used to do. What speciality would you prefer? If I had your mind, I'd rather wish I could change it too. But very well. Ah, you seek a more subtle approach. How surprisingly civilized. Very well. What do you require? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is... Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
shall I put this one?
Tusa, please. Need iron.
I am a proud loyal to the Order.
Pipe down, Farah. It's time to accept reality.
Come on then, Legsy. Pay up.
Dear one, help me teach this beast. He must respect.
Respect? Huh. Someone's got to keep this place running. Griff can't do it for free. Why'd you gotta make this so hard?
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth...
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Suit yourself. Probably wise, given the rashes you can pick up around this place. Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine running errands. That's the truth. For me, for you, for everyone in this place. Why not help each other get out of here? The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1. And when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way. Tired of the view in here yet?
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out.
Not now.
So, time to find this Boris fellow. Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind, gazing out across the dilapidated buildings of Fort Joy, as if looking for something.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on the inside. And now you. Suits me. If we can make it within sniping distance of him alive, you'll have already helped me enough.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then, I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. And you were you. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? I saw you fall. We all did. Thought you were done for. When we get out of this place, I owe you a pint. So you managed to swim to safety, is that it? What about when you were in the water? Didn't hear anything unusual, did you? I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black void. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. It was a shipwreck, all right. Not much more to say about it, I guess. Papa Joris used to tell me, Losa, he'd say. Losa, you ever find yourself in a sinking ship, follow the rats. They'll find you a way out. Applies to a lot of situations, actually. Vermin tend to know what's what. I've given a few shows around Reaper's Coast. Might be you saw a poster or a flyer. Might be you even heard about the, incident. Well, I was giving this concert up on Overlook Hill. There was a great crowd. They were really feeling it. But I guess it was too good. I had me a little sauce flare-up. Everyone went a bit, I don't know, wild. Rabid. I snapped out of it before anyone got hurt, but the Magisters caught me backstage afterwards. It's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied.
She gives you a searching look.
You seem pretty well adjusted. Ain't that just the truth? So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case, they might actually be right, though. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if... when push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot... What'll it be? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the... Well, no, or I wouldn't have joined up with you, would I? Don't worry. I'm sure your get-up will fool most people hook, line, and sinker. I'm sensitive. Knew who you were the moment you rolled up. So don't worry, and lead the way, your deadliness.
say, I don't know any elvish ditties. Got nothing spicy enough to keep my mind off this place for a few bars. Don't break your head vain now. Been that long since you've been home, has it? Yeah, pity.
That's what happened, isn't it?
Come on, you stubborn hunk of garbage.
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood nailed to the skeleton of an old ship. His whole body strains with the effort of wrenching the plank free, to no avail.
Eh? Oh, that. Won't be my first or last roll on a lost boat. Reckon I might have had a harder time of it without your help, though. Bravery on the high seas is rewarded tenfold in the hall, you know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got business to attend.
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms and rubs them together, before placing them both back on the plank and...
Bleeding nail must be... charmed or something. We'll just see about that.
He grabs hold of the plank and hefts his great bulk backward. The rusted nail pops loose, and the dwarf stands back, smiling proudly, his prize in his hand. The plank promptly crumbles to pieces.
Son of a... Aye, and nothing all but worthless either.
He casts one appraising eye over the planks strewn on the ground, and those still nailed to the ship. His brow furrows in calculation. He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break. Well,
he gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether to trust you.
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. I've got business north of here, in a town called Driftwood. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me get out of this place, and I'll do the same for you. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with the grace of a courtier.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead and buried. What matters is what they call me. Beast. Eh, now, it's quite a nice-sized place, actually. Play your cards right and I'll invite you for the summer. I'll tell you when you're older. Anyhow, we're a team now, so the me is not half as important as the us. Let's get down to brass tacks. Fighting, I mean. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin, and I picked up a few tricks along the way. Truth be told, I've grown fond of crushing and casting. A battle mage, if you like. But there's not so important as team dynamics. So what'll it be? Then it's settled. Capital! Well, that's that sorted. Onward then. I've got to get out of here, and soon. And I suppose you do too. Ah well, my best mate's son is undead. Nothing to be ashamed of. Now, onward!
The misery.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll. Or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into one of your neck's vertebrae.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, I'll let my needle do the licking. There is no other elf like me.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her, the needle still all too deeply embedded in bone. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. a flaw in her diamond features, a curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this living scar, into my cheek. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape? How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided deers around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? The agony of choice. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
As casual as only the living can be. But of course, I already knew what you really are. Or do you mean to tell me memory is so fleeting within the hollows of that windswept head of yours that you don't recall me running my dainty tongue along your arm? This may strike you as, rather eccentric. But the thought of traveling with one such as yourself quite enthuses me.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mockingly. You can't help but contemplate with both dread and delight the absolute darkness at the heart of her cat's eyes.
Yes, this will be jolly good fun. Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That suits me fine. Lead on, or better than follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side, for the moment.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. Oh, noble. But after the Magisters take you all, your nobility will have been for nothing. Good luck with your friends, though. Enjoy your last days in good company, won't you? Change your mind about my offer yet? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. And how many would make it before the guards noticed? 4? 5? Every bloody sorcerer in this place? Nah, they'd have to take their own chances. I'll need one accomplice, no more. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. Get that artifact, And you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for.
She ain't come back.
Now, come towards me. I'll teleport you down. I just need to see you clearly. Come close to the edge as you can, friend. Simply perfect. Now, teleport me to that mossy rock across the gulch, just by the torch. We're almost there. Even the air smells better here above that pit. Thanks for the help, and good luck getting yourself out.
Looks like it's just you and me, Stumpley. Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. What now?
Get that girl and her head sucker out.
I guess he's talking about you? Let's just see about that. Hey, loudmouth. What gives?
I'm trying to relax here, aren't I? Whatever's going on with you and your passenger, I don't really need it in my vicinity.
You can see it.
See? Hey.
You're a mystic too.
Mystic? Ha! Used to be a sort of demonologist, though. Was learning the arts, at least. Never did have much of a knack for it, to be honest. Studied under a real maestro, though. Learned this and that, too. Doubt it. Exorcism's a Tier 3 skill. I was only halfway through Tier 1 when I got thrown in here.
Come on, make yourself useful. There's got to be something you can do.
Well, I might be able to tell you exactly what's inside you. Might be any number of things. A ghost, a floater, a lucid dreamer who took a wrong turn. So let me try.
He places a thumb on each of Losa's
Now, let's see. Holy, holy, holy. You ought to thank your lucky stars. That thing hasn't turned you into a meat puppet by now.
Crick on a cracker.
You need help. Serious help. Do me a favour.
Driftwood, Old Master, Hot Hills. Got it.
I don't dare say it now. Don't you worry. With something like that inside you, Loser, he'll...
The elf's skin is pale as a corpse's, but his face contorts with inscrutable emotion. Joy, horror, and rapture flash over him like the changing surface of a pond. His eyes lock onto you.
It's you! No! No, it's you!
His back suddenly arches as he spasms.
I know it's you! You're like me, see? I'm not the last. The bishop doesn't count. No, he doesn't count. I'm done. You'll know. They'll find you. They'll seek you out. That's their job. Get it? Yes, of course you do. You need to go. Dallas, after she took me. Bye-bye, love. Tell them I say hello when you make it out. They'll be looking for me. Tell them.
It isn't right. Sorcerer! What do you think you're doing, prowling around inside the fort? There's not a magister within 100 miles who'd trust one of your kind to deliver any kind of message at all. Any other tales you want to try? Go on. I could use a good laugh. Don't think so. You broke the rules by coming down here, buck. Divine's rules. Huh? Traitors get what comes to them. Same as sorcerers overstepping their bounds. You'll make a fine feed for my hounds, though.
Please, healing. I need healing. Of course. Of course. They beat me for helping sorcerers. Children. We were trying to help them escape. They remove all the source from within. The husk that remains is left empty, soulless. I joined this order to serve the divine. He would never accept this torture. It is slavery. I serve the divine, not his son. I'm no fool, but his legacy is alive in all of us who long for justice. We can't have that while his relics are being used against civilians. There's a boat that can take you into the dunes beyond. 2 associates of mine run it. I can show you where, but they'll kill you on sight if you don't know the proper password. Heal me, and I'll gladly tell you. I feel it at work upon me already. Thank you, my friend. That is what separates you from the Divine Order. There is a waterway, a boat. Hand me a map. It isn't far. You'll meet some associates of mine. Tell them Madame Zur sent you, and they'll let you pass. Enough to matter, not enough to stage a coup. The Voidwoken have people terrified, not only for their lives, but for the very air they breathe, the sun that shines upon them. Dallas and Alexander offer a solution. People need solutions at a time like this, no matter the consequences. Some people, anyway. No, I imagine not. She's the headmistress of an orphanage in the far north. She keeps sorcerer children safe from the Divine Order. I can think of no nobler soul in all the realm. With her help, we've saved countless children from Dallas and Alexander, and we aim to save many more. You've given me a second life. I won't soon squander it, or forget what you've done. Thank you. Healed. Thank you, my friend. I will settle this debt.
The exit seems to be blocked from the other side. The exit seems to be blocked from the other side.
Die. Kill. Kill. That smell. Flesh not freely given. Stolen blood. Sickening.
Years ago now, I can hardly remember the smell of his skin. Oh, but I've told you about that many times.
As the Magister turns to face you, you feel Fane stepping up behind you.
Have you seen these contraptions? This must be the Magister freak the blacksmith was referring to. He may have the very tool I need to craft my mask.
Fane cheerfully explains that he needs something to rip off a person's face. even demonstrating the idea by reaching over and tugging on the Magister's cheeks. Rather than reacting with horror, the Magister seems excited, very excited. He explains that he might have just the thing.
Unfortunately, the Magister does not seem willing to part with it, no matter what Fane offers. The undead turns...
Who are you, you lovely little puppy?
He reaches out and gently touches your bandaged arm.
My, you're not quite who you seem to be, are you? Our little secret. Please, come in. Oh, do make yourself at home, won't you? Well, this is my playground. A little sanctuary away from the ugly world upstairs. And my games, well, they leave marks. You're not listening, darling. Perhaps we should start with making a little more space within those ears. Come, darlings. Time to die for Papa.
need aid!
Exquisite! The perfect tool to rip a face from a corpse. I think I shall call it the... Face Ripper. Now to harvest a few samples, gather some source orbs, and craft a new mask.
What the flying hell? Karen, you said this way was clear!
That's what the log said, sir.
Well, the log was wrong, you idiot. I hope for your sake no one will miss him.
The Magister cocks his head.
That's so. Tell me, what do you know about Zur? That she surely is. Never was known for her patience, was she? That right, Han? You'll be alright once you get settled in. We won't delay you. Good luck to you.
The boy stands back from you, steady eyes narrowed in a wary stare.
Who are you? I'm Han. So, you helped me out just there, and I'd like to return the favour. I've a boat here with plenty of room. Let's go. There's a place not far from here that's safe enough for our kind. Came in to help someone escape, and got nabbed before I could sneak back out. I'd ask you the same question, but we're a little short on time here. Guy named Verdas. I was too late, though. The Magister's got him. You're telling me. Jump in the boat and I'll take the oars.
A boat? I'd thank the Divine, but...
The sturdy raft bobs in the canal's gentle current.
We made it out. Good. Better get a move on to safety before anything spots us.
He gives you a searching look.
Trust's more valuable than coin round here. You need a place to lay low for a while. Oh, they're seekers. Don't know what that really means, come to think of it. They're kind, though. Magister's kicked them something fierce, but still they gave me water and bread and shelter when I needed it. Not for long. Only thing stopping us is those Shrikers the Magisters have.
Han shivers as he glances fearfully into the swamps.
Abominations. Once sorcerers like us. But not so lucky. You won't stumble across it in the dark, I'll tell you that. But here, hand me a map and I'll mark the way. Careful where you tread. Beasts, spectres, bones. Even void-woken sometimes. Ha! Well, good luck. If you make it, ring the bell outside. I'm heading there now.
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped. Don't make much of it one way or the other, but the farther we get away from the joy, the better. There's got to be a way off this island.
The cat purrs loudly as it curls itself around your ankles.
Thank you for freeing me from that awful place. And I remember who I am now. Bah. It's as if I never made myself a bed on his bony legs, or never... I can still hear him now. We had us a cruise and 6 days in the sun, but grave duty calls, so yes, where they roast your bottom over a grill. No, it's quite clear to me that you are much more worthy of an honest cat's company